the bill. Like if they get in, so to speak. I hear what you're saying. Like they've kind of stacked the deck, and it's hard to penetrate the council when you have people that were imported from Toronto that were part of the Liberal Party and shit. So
the mayor, he sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty aggressive now. I've been aggressive the entire time. I haven't relented one bit. Even our last council meeting, I made sure to mention that there was never a pandemic and it was all a hoax. But they're all backing off pretty good, and a couple of them are mostly awake now. But it is tough because even if you get counselors that are awake, people are still afraid
to
step out.
Do you know that we got Oglaza to testify in Kelly Hill's case that there's no studies that show that mask reduces the transmission and of COVID, and there's no studies that show that vaccine reduces the transmission of COVID. So that's like he swore to that, right? And we have the transcript for it. And also he admitted that there's no enforcement. Remember Rebecca and I talking about that earlier, like regulation 36420 has no enforcement.
Yeah.
He admitted it.
Mm-hmm.
He admitted he didn't want to, and the chair tried to stop me from asking the question, but I was really aggressive about it. And then he ended up saying, well, I know of no enforcement. But yet in the Section 22 order towards Kelly, it said they were making that order because Kelly was non-compliant with Regulation 36420. So that begs the question, well, where's the enforcement? You can't be accused of being non-compliant when there's no enforcement. So I think we made some really good inroads there that you guys can use in your district too. Mm-hmm. The street next door. It's Kingston, Lanark, Addington, and I forget. There's 4.
Yeah, and what was I just going to say? I completely forgot. My brain just stopped working on me. But there are a couple of questions, and God is still here, and Gada has to get going. So I'm going to take these questions just in case that something is here for Gada. And Tara.
Okay, so just before you go on to the next one, just let Gada know that we'd be willing to speak to groups of candidates. We could do it on Zoom, like if they're out of our district, and fill them in on the Canadian Bill of Rights.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, great. We can have that discussion afterwards as well.
Okay, perfect. And I really enjoyed your very, very comprehensive overview of this, and it's really helpful. Really, really helpful.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I'll answer one question and then I'll leave.
Okay. So Tara, please go ahead.
Mine was just about, you said something about the chief medical officer being elected or appointed by council.
No.
I just wanted to know. I didn't think it was, but I just heard, I thought I heard her say that.
Sorry, was there a question for me?
Yes, it was about the public health.
Officer?
I guess I don't know if you said chief medical officer or the public health officer.
The regional is hired by health is voted in or selected by the region, and the region in our area. So every regional council is different. So in our area, we have in Mississauga city councilors. Some of them are appointed to sit on the regional council. In Brampton, which is also part of the region, they run for election. So every city has its own composition, but at the end, the councillors representing this city, sitting on the regional council, vote for choosing the regional medical officer of health, and they can fire him.
Okay, great, thanks. That was just clarification. It was a different government setup. The structure is different. We have in Halifax, we have a regional municipalities, but it really was the old Halifax County, so it's all the county together. So the regional council is the regional council, so it's just different. But great, thank you.
Thank you, Tara.
Welcome. And I also answered another question in the chat about the firing. If you want to scroll through, because there's no party, you cannot fire anybody from municipal government because it's not a party structure. You represent yourself. You report to the people. You don't report to the mayor. You actually challenge the mayor if you have to. But in a party, the party leader can fire a sitting MP or MPP from the party, but they don't fire them from sitting in the legislature. They still sit there as independents.
Good point. Good
Okay.
point. Yeah. Thank you. Do you want to take this last question? Got it. And then we'll let you go. Ahmad,
Where?
you've got your hand up.
Yeah, it's not really a question. It's more of a recommendation. So we have the June elections coming up, and we have New Blue and Ontario parties running as new in like, what am I trying to say? They're doing the same thing that you're doing. They're running as they're not the incumbent. They're trying to win the seat, and they're building up the structure within the ward. So what we should be doing is partnering with those guys, build up the grassroots knowledge in the riding or the ward, because they'll be canvassing, going door to door, finding out who the awake people are, what the issues are. So use that as a practice run instead of inventing everything again in October from scratch. So, and they do the same thing. The provincial and municipal parties do the same thing. That the same team in the riding will campaign for each other. So, we should be using their tactics. So that would be my recommendation, to partner up with the June provincial candidates, get the grassroots knowledge on hand, and that same volunteer team can transfer to the municipal team. And, they'll already have that contact list and the knowledge of where to put the signs and, what worked, what didn't do, instead of reinventing everything from scratch in June. So that would be my recommendation to everyone.
Great idea. One caution for candidates who run in June and then they want to run in October. In the provincial election, you don't have to live in the city you want to run, but in the municipal, you have to. So if you're running in a different city, you cannot run for municipal in the same riding or ward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you, Gada. Thank you so much. It was an absolute pleasure to have you on here. Thank you for taking time on your Friday. I know you're a busy lady, and we'll be in touch. And as Jane mentioned, we'd be happy to set up a Zoom anytime to discuss the Bill and Rights and Bill of Rights in more detail. So you let us know if you'd like us to do that. So it was our pleasure to talk about the bill.
Wonderful. We'll do that for sure once we have the group of candidates who are pre-established.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a good one. Take care. All right. So, wow, that was great, eh? Like, time to go after those city council seats, move some people around, take control of the situation. Okay. All right. So, it's 20 after 9 already, and I would like to give the floor to our friend Scott. Where's Scott? Scott, are you there? Are you there?
I am. I got kicked, but I came back on my phone.
Oh, you got kicked? Did we kick you out?
Yes. I think I wanted to ask a question, but I think my cat was on my lap and I think he was purring, so it sounded maybe like background noise. Can you see me now?
Yeah, we see you. We see you. I'm sorry.
No problem. I hope I can get back in next time.
Well, I think what we might have to do is we might have to change the Zoom link, which is kind of crappy. But, it actually hasn't been that bad. And, typically people get bored after we don't respond. And in reality, we're pretty quick to get rid of them. Okay, so Scott. So Scott, guys, if you're not aware, Scott is a parent in Ottawa. And what I love about Scott, aside from the fact he's an awesome guy, Scott came to our meeting last Thursday or 2 Thursdays ago here in Ottawa. And you know what? Scott came into the room and said, I'm not going to ask you guys for a solution. I got something. And he came to the table with, he'd already created his Facebook group. He had some ideas, and he wanted to go after City Hall for
the trustees.
Yeah, going after the trustees. So I think that's a great idea. And so what happened in Ottawa Carleton District School Board is that they have approved or they've created their own mask mandate for students. And we know that these mandates have been lifted. And sorry, 1 second here. These mandates have been lifted, and so from public health, but the school boards have decided that they're going to create their own. Why don't you tell us what you got going on, Scott?
Yeah, well, I think the order is coming down from the mayor and city council through Ottawa Public Health and the chief medical officer there, where they're testing wastewater values for COVID in Ottawa. And because of a rise in COVID levels in the wastewater, they recommend everyone wear a mask. And unfortunately, Ottawa, it seems the general public, continues to listen, and they're not really woken up, so that you can see, on the streets, everyone's wearing masks, etc. And so I guess by popular demand, the school council decided to re-implement mask mandates based off of recommendation from municipal government. And this is a provincial institute, right? Our school system is so I feel they've gone rogue and are just, looking at an organization outside of their institute to put these policies in place. So they voted 8-1 in favor of masking kindergarten kids for 7+ hours a day up to grade 12. And my daughter goes to high school, so she's part of this. And when I heard about it, my heart sunk. I was so angry. I created a Facebook group. That's how angry I was, Rebecca. And
but good for Scott. Good for you. I'm telling you, you are the first person that I mean, a lot of people have taken action. You came with your action.
Yeah, and I asked to speak at the Stand4Thee meeting just to bring awareness, because I had, I think, maybe 4 or 5, friends in my group, and I wanted to figure out a way to grow that and bring awareness and kind of build and create some momentum there. So we're up to 50 now, 45 now, probably over 50 after this meeting tonight, hopefully, if enough people join. And we're doing, well, there's a couple initial initiatives. I'll tell you what I've done so far. I'm a programmer, so I thought, it'd be neat to email all the principals in Ottawa and ask them, how they're implementing these mandates, because the mandates were put in place, but they recognize that they're not legally allowed to enforce them. So they sent out emails to all students and parents that there is a mandate, and the rule is that if you go into a OCD-SB, Ottawa Carleton District School Board establishment, you need to wear a mask if you're a visitor, a student, staff. But they also recognize way down in the webpage that if you don't comply, they won't suspend you or ask you to leave. So they can't really enforce the rule. But